it hums inside my veins. Every corner bites back hard, every mistake makes me feel the strain. Glass horizon, crimson sky, concrete waiting just to feed. Every heartbeat sinks with sparks, every breath becomes the speed. Push, break, turn, repeat. The machine remembers everything. I disappear into the noise, where every second cuts away. No mercy hiding in the light, no shelter on this narrow lane. I'm chasing ghosts.
So here we are with Nighthawk Racing F1 RSC Season 6 Round 3 qualifying results for the feature race. So worth saying, the top 8 all selecting to qualify on soft tyres, so a very similar strategy straight out of the box for all of them. But taking pole position, McManley in that 296 with 1 minute 30.8 and 5 tenths clear of Dark Lord in P2. That is quite an outstanding achievement there for McManley, definitely settling into that 296 here today. But behind those two in P3 we have Mercedes in his Mercedes on a 1 minute 31.7, and then in P4, who's definitely picked up that pace, Nigel Mansell, 1 minute 32 flat. And then in P5 in that Supra, Wise Father Boy, 1 minute 32.061, barely 400ths behind Nigel. Then Pedro on a 1 minute 32.1, barely half a tenth behind Fodder in P6. T50 Phil takes P7 on 1 minute 32.2, only a tenth back. And then in P8, only 4 tenths behind Phil, Kirk in his Supra for P8. And then P9 we have Koulios in that NSX, 1 minute 32.6. And then Charlie, the first and only of the medium runners to qualify, on a 1 minute 33.1. I think that is a rather decent time, all things considered. And then in P11, Sophie in that McLaren 650S on 1 minute 33.1. That car not looking too comfortable around here today, but as we all know, you don't get too many points for qualifying. It's the race where it all comes together, so good luck out there for Sophie. Then P12, T50 Gary, a few places behind his other T50 mate of Phil, but in P12, 1 minute 33.2. Iceman, P13, 1 minute 33.4, and then our very own Nighthawk Racing co-creator Sarah Hawkey, P14 on 1 minute 33.7, and historically has very good results around here, so we'll see what she can do. But taking the final spot on the grid today, Sicily, no time set, but he will be racing that Lexus, and we'll see what he can manage here today. With that in mind, I think this grid is very interesting. So many of the drivers all going for soft tyres. Charlie, kind of the oddball on this one, going for those medium tyres, so he's going to factor in later on in the race, but he might find he's passed by a lot of drivers to begin with, unless he can really open up his 296. With that in mind, I'm going to be keeping an eye out. It's got to be the pole sitter MP2, but Manley and Dark Lord, those two at the moment looking like they're in a league of their own. But keep an eye out for Fodder Boy. He's got good track record around here, and our FEC champion, which is F1 RST Endurance Championship, so he will be looking to honour that and definitely get on the podium at very least and continue that championship charge. With that in mind, I think it's time to hand over to the commentators and see how things got on. For the Red Lobby Season 6 Round 3 at Dragon Trail Gardens Reverse in the wet. Now, Red Lobby, there are no driver aids such as traction control or anti-spin, so this is going to be a real test of all of the drivers out there. Dark Lord with a decent start, but Mercedes in that Mercedes AMG up to P2 straight off the bat. All drivers on wet tyres, and filtering around the opening couple of corners. Koulias with a little bit of a moment there, but getting away with it out of turn 2. But all drivers now filtering down to that quadruple left-hander. Nigel looks like he is thinking about a move, but playing it a little bit safe in the opening lap. Can't see anything, Ziggy. There's too much spray. This is about as bad as it gets.
What a start. I mean, it's raining. It's pouring rain. Everyone behaved so well on these first corners. No one's out. Almost no one touched anyone. With a very poor vision, you can't see anything ahead of you. Struggling to keep the car on track. Old tires. So, yeah. Nice move there from Mercedes.
Mercedes, yeah. Dark Lord getting a bit of a squiggly on coming out of the hairpin. And Mercedes up to P1, but will Dark Lord come back at him? Yes, he will. No, he won't. Thinking better of it. Chooses life.
Yeah, he thought about it, but he decided to go. He decided to go safe.
Yeah, that'll be. One eye on the mirrors, one eye on the radar, and one eye looking at Dark Lord on that one. You suddenly run out of capacity to wonder where he is.
Exactly.
But our drivers, wet weather, Ziggy, there's a few out there that are a little bit wet weather specialists, such as Pedro, Koulias, and Sarah, particularly the ones that spring to mind. And I think we're going to find out a few more of them out there. Oh, and Sophie as well. Should give Sophie a shout out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we should. You are right. I think we should keep an eye on all of them, especially on the ones that you have mentioned, because they already shown on previous events that they are really skilled driving through these conditions. So, what to expect? It's a 1-hour race. A lot of things can happen. The weather will definitely have a very important part on this race. Let's see who has the nerves of steel.
I agree with you on that. And one driver I failed to mention, actually, the first time we ever saw him in fodder was, I think, Season 4 Suzuka in that hellish wet race that we had. Ran away in Blue Lobby and just disappeared. So another one to keep an eye on. And he's up behind Mac at the moment. And as we all know, Mac is one of the hardest people to pass that we could ever ask to get near. So fodder a little bit bottled up behind him at the moment.
You are absolutely right. And while you are watching the race ahead, I'm watching a battle between Charlie and Kirk just for a few moments. And fair to say that both of them are quite clean in terms of, being a little bit more conservative regarding the braking points and not trying to attack on every single corner. It's been interesting to watch.
It is great to see, it really, really is. We have a couple of drivers who have sadly fallen off the back. Nigel with big damage, actually. So something's happened to him somewhere. I think we're going to be seeing him come into the pits as we do see a three-way battle into turn 1. Charlie, Kirk and Phil. How'd you go 3 wide in that corner?
Oh, Phil lost it. He almost hit the barrier, but he had a half spin.
Oh, and a flick turn and back the way he goes.
No damage. That's good for him.
I was wondering how you go 3 wide in that corner. Turns out you can't.
And especially on rain, you can do that only when it's raining. On dry, you can't.
I'll tell you what, I'm almost mesmerised by watching all these drivers go round in each other's wheel tracks, one after the other, roughly evenly spaced. It reminds me of an old F1 race back in '96 when we saw Schumacher decimate the whole field in Barcelona, and just core memory of mine, just watching all the cars follow each other around, and just beautiful to see. But Kirk's not got that memo, and he's racing side by side with Charlie.
All done. Oh, both safe.
Oh.
Kirk. Oh. Almost lost it. Lost it a little bit.
Charlie
Managed to keep it on track. Mhm.
Out front, Mercedes setting the faster lap, 44.7. Great pace there. We're seeing all the drivers slow
Sarah,
down.
amazed with Sarah, 6th position so far on the wet.
Agreed. And if we look back to a season or two ago, we saw her really struggling with, particularly racing on the wheel, but she's definitely found her groove again. And running 6th place in the red lobby in the feature is no easy feat. So
Especially when it's raining. I mean, shout out to her. Well done, Sarah.
Fully agree on that one. Charlie has got ahead of Kirk somewhere and is now on the back of Sophie, so Kirk dropping a second or so. But there's races like this, Ziggy, that you do see the natural ability of some drivers just come out again, as we are seeing that with Sarah running in 6th at the moment, getting the best out of herself, and we are come the end of the race, we'll see who does that all race long.
Mm-hmm. I see Gary struggling a little bit with on the wet conditions, although although he is a very consistent driver under these conditions, he struggles a little bit and is being pressured by Sitterly and Iceman right behind them.
Yeah, it's got to be said that some drivers aren't used to running no traction control, and these are conditions that make it super difficult for anyone and everyone. But I'd say Gary's got a lot to be proud of. He's getting good lap times and good battles out of this. So we'll just see what he does on the longer run, because there's a long way left to go in this race.
There's still a lot ahead, and it's really raining hard.
I think we have to talk strategy in this race as well, Ziggy. This is going to be about an hour, 36 laps, and we know from seeing the blue lobby earlier on that, well, we'll just say one stop might be the norm around here. So fuel's not a real big concern, tyre wear's not a big issue because the forecast is to stay full wet for the entire race. So it's just down to the drivers and keeping it on the black stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless anyone has major damage, or even if light, but especially major damage, yeah, this is a one-stopper. Depending on if we manage to keep the car on track or not. We all know that it's, I mean, it only takes a second of distraction to make a small mistake, like Darkload now was doing a drift on the on the end of the chicane for the last corner. It amazes me.
He's doing
There he goes again.
points. Style points, says Ziggy. Style.
Style points, exactly. So they need to be really, really focused and concentrated on doing everything perfectly. They need to nail every single lap to prevent any kind of, getting out of track, to prevent any damage, any accident they potentially may have under these conditions. So it's key to be focused and to not have unnecessary fights that will make them lost time and potential those possibilities of crashing.
Yeah, and you have to say, with these conditions, the possibility of crashing is ever more present, because you only have to put a wheel an extra inch or so onto the grass, and there is no grip whatsoever out there, and it can easily be a trip to the barrier. So far, not really seeing that from anyone. Unfortunately, Phil has had another incident somewhere, and he has picked up some damage, which is roughly equal to what Nigel's done. So those two, a little bit of a race of their own, but a long way still to go.
It's the Porsche Super Cup.
Yeah, it does appear to be.
Yeah, everybody's doing okay. I mean, Mercedes, he's steady, and he is doing very balanced and consistent laps. Dark Lord is now, managed to balance the pace as well. He's now driving
Oh, Pedro!
a few seconds behind. Oh, oof, almost, man.
That was a Code Brown moment.
Oh, further on Mac for position P3. Oh, but he went a little bit too deep, and Mac regained the position.
Oh, and
Both.
and then you can see the frustration for putting down the throttle just a little bit too hard and coming out facing the wrong direction, frankly. But good bit of battling from those two. We did say Mac is incredibly hard to get past, and he's proving every ounce of that today.
Mm-hmm. And Pedro is joining the party for those two.
But he's living on the edge. That's twice in about half a lap I've seen him completely locked up in sideways. He's either loving it or it's Code Brown time, but he's very closely followed by Sarah.
These guys are being entertained, and Sarah. I was about to mention that. So Mac and Ford are pulling Pedro with them, and Pedro is pulling Sarah with him. So it will be a four-way battle in a couple of laps if this continues like this.
Oh, and somewhere Kirk and Charlie have swapped places again.
Oh, they are best friends now.
I think so.
That's why.
But this season, both drivers taking a different car to last season.
Ooh. Another move from Photo on Mac. Last corner.
Ooh, that's not a place you normally pass. Side by side round the final corner. Mac is gonna hold the position
just about. Is it a track race?
It is.
Oh, they switch.
Mac going defensive into turn one. That will give Follow the racing line. It doesn't necessarily matter around here. As long as you hit the apex, you can't really get around the outside. Follow's not... Okay, Follow wasn't listening to that one. He's done it. Mac gave him just the car width of space. And Mac is still there.
He's there. Oh, there's no free lunch. There's no free meals.
Ooh, Fodder has got up to P3.
This is brilliant racing. Pedro is right on the verge as well to jump into the fight.
That was beautiful racing from the pair there.
Yeah.
Very mature, very respectful racing. Matt not moving multiple times, giving Fodder the space he had earned. But can Fodder now make a break for it and get away from Mac?
Oh, and Sarah's in trouble. She lost a little bit to the guys ahead, and now she's having Coolius right on her rear.
Yep. Looks like
with Sophie.
Yeah, freeway battle for 6th and a freeway battle for 3rd at the moment. But Fodder looks like he's now making a bit of a break for it. That Supra engine pulling him away from the Ferrari, and now Sarah, the Lamborghini versus the NSX versus the McLaren. And just behind, Kirk and Charlie still going at it. Oh, Sophie, careful!
No. What a save.
Can we have a pair of shorts on standby for all drivers after this race?
I think they should.
Oh.
They must. That was entertainment.
Out front, Mercedes has set the fast lap of the race, a 1:44.096. Good pace from him on that one. We do see he's pulled about another second gap on Dark Lord. Now, I have to say, I'm really, really surprised and really happy for our Dark Lord. Really showing what he can do in the wet. It's not something we've seen from him before. He's clearly got on over that self-imposed jinx that he had on himself.
Yeah, I think it's about, trust. Oh, Pedro. Ooh.
Oh,
who was that? Sarah. Oh, Sarah.
Pedro and Sarah doing the same thing within seconds of each other, both running wide. I'm not sure if that was on contact from Mac, as now Pedro dives down the inside, taking P4. Is that Mac giving the place back, or was that Pedro a very
Could be.
ambitious lunge. I can't really tell you on that one.
Could be something that we've missed. There's a lot happening now.
And that has allowed
To-
Fodder to get away, Ziggy. And that has allowed Pedro to get up to P4. Again, one guy that we know is always really, really consistent in the wet. If a little sideways the last few laps, up to P4.
And now Julius, P6. He's doing a very, very good feature race.
Yeah, and good to see him back on track as well.
Yeah, it's been a while since he last raced with us.
But going back to that strategy, Ziggy, but it's going to be a long while before we see any pit stops, so there is going to be nothing but on-track driving action, presuming everyone stays out of the wall, which I think we're seeing. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some great car control out there, and as previously mentioned, no assists. This is all just raw driving talent.
Yeah, no ads. I mean, there's no kind of help driving these cars under these conditions on the red lobby, so it's pure skill. Who do you think has a better condition on the wet, the wheel drivers or the pad drivers?
Well, I'm going to land somewhat directly in the middle of this one, as Mercedes has set a fastest lap, by the way, and we are seeing Charlie now look at the back of Sophie. My own personal take on it, though, is on if you're going to get a snap and the car is going to get away from you, you want to probably be on a controller. But as always, it's never going to be that simple. Those on wheel can put in a finer degree of motion to make sure they don't understeer in these conditions, which, for my point of view, is really essential. As soon as you start understeering, you then put on too much power and then oversteer, as you do see Charlie making a move on Sophie in the final corner. So it's very much catch-22, Ziggy, as we say here. It's not going to be that simple, but I'm going to say, to save a car, you want to be on a controller.
Fair, yeah. I understand that. Even the braking pressure that you apply on the pedal or on the not the joystick, the button for you to brake on the controller. There are twists between one and the other. But in this case, regarding this specific lobby, it's all about talent and skill.
Speaking of, I'm a little bit in awe at the moment. Mercedes disappearing off out front as he's been since lap 1. I knew he was good in the wet. Always suspected he had the chops to do this, but he is driving away from the rest of the pack. He's doing so damn well.
And he's really enjoying that Mercedes he's driving. I mean, that car can be hard. But even so, he's showing and proving all of his talent. Doing a brilliant race so far.
But we're in round We're in round 3 of the series at this point, Ziggy, and it's I think we're looking at a 2 to 3 horse race for the championship between Dark Lord and Fodder, the two obvious candidates. And Mercedes definitely showing that he's got what it takes now. He's got the hold of this AMG.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Although we should not disconsider drivers like Pedro and Mac, and even yourself. You have done brilliantly last season, so you are still on the contention to, for fighting for the top places at the end. But yeah, I mean, for now, after this third round, clearly Fodder and Dark Lord are in a better position in terms of points and everything. But I think it's still very open between 4 to 6 drivers, I would consider, for the final rounds.
I think you're quite right there, Ziggy. I'm going to say also on this one, on this particular aspect, I'm going to say there's so much competition in the upper midfield at the moment. You've got drivers like Charlie and even T50 Phil and Gary are really showing their pace in a lot of these races now. And they're definitely.
And Sarah, don't forget Sarah.
Yeah, definitely having one.
She's doing really, really, really well. Yeah.
Definitely having one of the best seasons so far, which is great to see. And Koulias, oh, he's been embroiled in a fight with Mac for the last lap or so, side by side for a couple of corners, and then just lighting up those tyres through that chicane. He's now dropped a couple of car lengths behind, back into the clutches of Sarah on that one. Like you say, having a great season so far, and racing Red Lobby most, if not all, races at this point.
Yeah, and I think Dark Lord has picked up his pace again and is doing the fastest lap so far. Cutting a little bit of the gap he had to Mercedes. Mercedes having a moment there.
Sophie also picking up a half-second penalty, running wide in the first corner, easily done. But I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit worried if you see Dark Lord starting to come towards the front in these kind of races. We always suspect he had the only weakness that we knew he had was wet weather. If he's starting to set fast laps in the wet, I'm now officially worried.
Bad news for the rest of us. I mean, and I have to say that Foda is also picking up the pace and is running by himself now, but I think he is in contention for fighting for the victory.
I think you're right.
It only takes a moment for the two ahead of him, a moment of distraction or the slightest issue they find, and Foda is right there. He is right there.
Of course, Foda was also bottled up behind Mac for a good, quite a few laps, and it really has put him basically a whole pit straight away from the leading pack. But that said, there's a long way to go.
Yeah, we are a third of the race done so far. The first 2 or 3 laps were a little bit more, exciting. Sarah.
Charlie just got past there on the way into turn 1, but that fight's not over yet.
Nope. We know that Sarah doesn't give it without a fight.
Quite right. And the second season of running that Lamborghini, very familiar with the car now. And
what a drift.
Pushing our luck a little bit, but that was entertaining to see. I think we're going to see a bit more of that as we go. Koulias is now caught back up to Mac. There's contact between the two. Koulias in the barrier.
Oh,
careful with rejoining, Koulias. You do not want to end up in someone's side. Ouch. That was unfortunate from Koulias there. I think he went for a move on Mac, thinking Mac was going to stay wide, and they just kind of met in the middle there, Ziggy.
Yeah, I think it was bad luck for Koulias at that moment when he decided to. He saw the opportunity there. I mean, he saw the opportunity. The space was there. Mac went a little bit too deep. Koulias saw the opportunity, give it a go. Probably the car was a little bit unsettled because he was, just flooring it. And we know that under these conditions, you need to be really, really careful on the exit of a corner before you floor it. But anywho, it was a bad luck for Koulias. Let's see what the stewards have to say about it after they review the incident.
Quite right, and you have to say, you could see Koulias was a lot faster at Mac at this point in the race, and he went for a move, and sometimes they just don't pay off. But again, that would be down to the stewards to have a look at that one afterwards. Well, now that's over a few minutes. We might be able to have a little bit of a breather. But that said, Sarah is still on the back of Charlie. Now with Kurt joining that battle as well, and Sophie has been a bit of an anomaly to me in this one.
I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, because we know the ability she has to drive on the wets, and we know how consistent she can be. She always is. Maybe she had a few moments through this early stage of the race, and now probably she's trying to get back and to recover. Let's wait and see for a few more laps, if that's the case.
It could be, and I will back this one up. I think the McLaren is horrible in the wet weather. I think maybe Sophie might agree with me after this one, but as you do see the McLaren jump over the curb there, not enjoying it, but it's still early. It could be a little bit of strategy at play here. It could be going easy earlier on, saving a bit of fuel, having a very short stop towards the end of the race, or just simply taking it a little bit easy, running in a lighter fuel mode, and just ensuring you get to the end of the race before being dropped in a wall. We'll wait and see, but like you said, we'll see what Sophie can stir up for the rest of this race, one that we know is very good in the wet. And that was a snap from Kirk. That would have surprised him a bit.
Nice save there.
That looked horrible, didn't it?
Yeah, it is. Just a quick note, Midnight. I think Dark Lord is really catching Mercedes at this point. I've been putting an eye on those two, and I think he's closer to Mercedes than he was 2 laps ago.
It definitely is. Certainly is.
Charlie now fighting with Mac.
The understeer on that for Charlie. Just went in a little bit too hot, got onto the outside of the corner, and the car just did not want to bite into the corner there. Got away with it, got a good exit, got rotated eventually, and then good power down. You can just sense with Mac at this point, he doesn't look comfortable, does he?
He doesn't. Yeah. He's not finding the best way to be on track. Is uncomfortable for sure. I agree with you on that one. And Charlie's trying to keep the 5th position now.
Yeah, it doesn't mean Mac isn't going to come back at him though. Down into turn 1, late on the brakes. Mac back up to P5. Charlie cutting back on the inside. Nice one, lads. Giving each other some space, I hope. But Charlie getting the cut back up to P5. Mac faint towards the inside. He does that to put you off. Sometimes it works, I won't lie. But that has enabled this battle to be extended. With Sarah joined. Phil's in the mix in there as well, having pitted. So that's another factor in this. But Charlie's now going to have to worry about Mac. Mac, as we said earlier on, is very, very hard to get past. But equally, you don't really want him behind you because he will go for an attempt at a pass, as we just saw.
If he has a chance, we know he will not
There we
miss
go.
it.
No, that's not a pass, Mac. That is not a pass. It was rather spectacular, though.
It was.
A little pirouette
Did he have
down
any
the
damage?
hairpin.
No damage. He managed to recover the car.
I can only imagine, Ziggy, he's got the brake bias perhaps too far to the rear, because that Ferrari looks really, really unstable under braking, and that could be where he's losing the time. As you know, see Kirk with that a little bit more confidence later on the brakes and up to P8 now.
It's not being. I'm sure Mac is not amused. He is not happy. And now the frustration starts to kick in. So he needs to calm down and to settle, and to recover the sense, and just do his driving, we all know how capable he is, so he just needs to settle down, to calm down, and to manage the frustration.
Agreed. And one thing we will say about Mac, he's one of the best drivers I've ever had the privilege of racing against. He's got the talent there, and a very capable commentator as well, if I do say so myself. So he can do this, just needs to find that groove again, find the rhythm, settle down, like you say, and then see what he can do. Because we are only halfway through this race, he may be in P9, but there's still a long way to go, and every corner is almost death-like, particularly if you're going to go that close to Kirk.
Cool down, Mac. Cool down. I mean, I do appreciate it, but cool down. Kudos, nice drift.
Yeah, a little bit further back, Kudos has pitted, taken on a full tank of fuel, gone to some... So, yeah, I think no, he's still on the same wet tyres. There is an option around here. You don't have to pit for tyres to get to the end of the race. But Kudos definitely going to the end. And I think he and Phil are the only ones who have pitted so far, as Phil does go a bit sideways. You will have to get out of the way of Kirk, and Mac does so. Good driving by the gent there. Yeah, a couple of drivers already pitted and taken on.
I think our top three.
Oh, Charlie round in the final corner.
Oh, Charlie.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, I could make a joke about being a prodigy race car driver, but that's a bit beyond me on this one. I'm not gonna throw fire onto that one. Let's not be a fire starter. Moving on. Up to P1. Charlie has dropped down to P9. Mercedes still looking good in P1. Dartlaw P2. Fodder on his own in P3. Pedro on his own in P4. Sarah Hutch in P5.
P5. Oh, that's
She's going to be smiling. Kirk and Mac still going at it. I think whoever's around Mac in this one is just... I think they have to apply for a boxing licence more than a racing card at the moment.
Yeah.
As Mac has got past Kirk somewhere.
I'm betting that Phil is having a very good moment there behind those two.
He's got the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirk late on the brakes, down the outside, little bit of bank swapping. Mac back down the outside. Kirk will get the drive off the corner by getting the car rotated a little bit better, but Mac will have the inside for the upcoming chicane, but falls back behind Kirk. The power of the Supra just drives him past. Watch for the inside. Kirk defends. Gets the car slowed down and stopped. And a little bit of a breather for Kirk.
Good defending.
Good defending indeed. A little bit of a breather for Kirk, but he'll have Mac behind him on the long pit straight down into turn 1 again, I feel. I think... wow.
Oh, he's spitting.
That's interesting. Mac taking a pit stop at just over half distance. Maybe he's decided he wants a little bit of clear air and get out from underneath other people's rear wings. Going for a new set of wet tyres. It is an option round here. To be fair, it's an option to swap because it's a brand new rubber, or just continue along on the same tyres. They will make it in this race, but personal preference.
So Sitterly now fighting with Charlie.
Yeah, that spin was very, very costly for Charlie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You did lost a few positions and a lot of time. Yellow flags.
Car backwards. That's Phil again. Goodbye, Phil.
Oh, poor Phil is not having a good night. A good day for me. He's really struggling.
You do get days like this. You do get days like this. But the key is coming back for the next race and doing your best again.
So Mercedes is pitting right now.
And that's interesting. He's very light on fuel, so he pits. He had to pit at that point. Will he change tyres? Yes, he does. Fresh rubber going on.
Yes, he does.
And he won't take on a full tank. He won't need to. But that does promote Dark Lord into P1. Let's see if he has the pace to overcut the Mercedes driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mouthful.
That's redundant.
A little bit.
So I'm guessing that Dark Lord and Fodder and Sarah will have to pit this lap, probably. Pedro, not now. Maybe a couple of laps. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Dark Lord, Fodder, Sarah, 1 lap there or thereabouts. Maybe 2 laps for Pedro and Sophie.
Mm-hmm. Kirk will have to pit this lap as well, so top 6.
Yeah, we're about to see a flurry of pit stops. Mercedes came out really far back in the back, just ahead of Iceman, and between Iceman and Sitterly.
It's a long pit stop. I think we're going to see Dark Lord pitting this lap.
Ooh, Nigel running just ahead of Dark Lord with really big front end damage.
Mm-hmm.
That is not fun when that happens. Here
There
we go.
goes Dark Lord.
Dark Lord, the championship leader, into the pits for his 1 and only stop of the race. One would assume.
Fodder keeps out.
Fresh tyres for Dark Lord. Will he come
Pedro
out
as
in
well,
front?
as expected.
Will he come out in front of Mercedes? This is going to be
Mercedes.
This is going to be key. Where is Mercedes on track? He is coming around the final chicanes at the moment. Dark Lord filling up at 50% now, so way to go. Mercedes coming around the final corner. This is going to be a battle of the pit stops. Still refueling and finished. So Dark Lord coming out of the pits. Where is Mercedes? He's going to undercut him massively, I feel. Dark Lord easily into turn 1, around turn 2, and Mercedes not even there yet. That's fascinating there, Ziggy.
He's getting there now. Yeah. It's so Dark Lord, he did well staying out 1 more lap. You know, he had clean air because he was right on his tail, on Mercedes' tail, when Mercedes pitted. So he knew he was losing some time behind Mercedes under these conditions, and with clean air in front of him, with a lighter car, with less fuel, he knew he could push, and he did push, and it paid him well. I mean, strategy-wise, it was a good move from Dark Lord. Now let's see if he handles the car under these conditions as well as he did so far. And Mercedes is going a little bit wider. And if Mercedes has the ability and the focus, the concentration to stay calm, to try to get back to Dark Lord.
Agreed on that one. I almost feel like Mercedes might have overfueled a little bit. But
You reckon?
Well, I guess we'll see. If Dark Lord's running out of fuel in the final lap or 2, I guess we'll know.
Right.
But Fodder in the pits changed his tyres. Sophie coming into the pits as well. Sarah pitted the previous lap as well. Didn't change tyres. We'll save a few seconds to see how that pays her back. Sophie going straight to fuel as well. And we have Kirk in and Charlie in at the same time. So Kirk changing tyres. Charlie changing tyres. Does look like most are changing tyres. I think that.
And Mercedes also lost to Fodder.
That is significant. Very.
He
significant.
did lost to Fodder, and he lost by a mile in terms of track position.
I wonder if we're just seeing that thirsty AMG really biting Mercedes on this one. Is he worried that he's just not going to make the end of the race with the same amount of fuel as the others as he slides through that quadruple left-hander? But yeah, you can only feel with him. He might be a little bit infuriated at this point, knowing he's got to redo any passing on some of the hardest guys to pass in the championship of Fodder and Dark Lord, as well as have a heavier car and carry more fuel as well. So it's a good race from him, but I think that car might be biting
It
him a
is.
little bit. And top it off,
He
he's
is
got
really-
City between them.
And he's really pushing at this point. You can see by the car behavior in terms of he's really trying hard. He's really pushing to be back on the fight because everything turned a little bit more difficult for him at this point. Now that we have only 14 laps to go. So and with such a even pace between the three of them, it will be really hard for Mercedes to get up there. But we know what he can do. So I personally hope that he managed to pick up those two. So that means that we will have fight till the end.
I agree. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Pedro's still going after 3 laps longer than Mercedes, so he's very good on his fuel. Sophie picked up a 3-second penalty for crossing the white line in or out of the pits. So that has come back and bitten her a little bit. It's so easy to do around here.
Mm-hmm.
But the two drivers that we spotted not changing tyres, running currently 7th and 8th respectively. Let's see how that works out when Sitley and Iceman pit. I think they should be up to 5th and 6th respectively, but that should be a race between the ladies for, I think, 5th place.
Yeah, probably.
Keep an eye
I
on
think you're
Pedro.
right.
Keep an eye on Pedro as well. He's going to come in this lap. He's on fumes, and he's going to have the shortest pit stop of all, I think.
He will indeed. Let's see. Oh, Dark Lord is now pulling some purple sectors.
As is his MO.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. One half of the mad Portuguese man is in the pits. The other one's in the commentary box with me.
The madmans, the Portuguese madmans.
Not
Ford,
changing
will-
tyres as well. Interesting.
Let's see if he managed to stay ahead of Mercedes.
Pedro coming out the pits. So yes, this would be where Mercedes is against Pedro. Is he going to go from 1st to 4th in the pit lane? He is. And Pedro coming out ahead of Fodder as well. So that not changing tyres and the later pit stop has put Pedro from 4th up to 2nd, at least briefly. Can he hold off Fodder, who's going to go for the move? Straight away, no. Thinks better of it. But he has the fresher tyres. Ooh, this got spicy.
This is getting exciting. And from one moment, it took only 3 laps from Mercedes
Whoa!
going. Oops. That was. I bet Italy has now a new pair of underwear.
Yeah, I'm going to scratch my order for 1 pair of new shorts and run 2 on.
Oh, that was close. That was interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
Pedro.
Pedro losing it. Oh, he
How did
managed.
still
He
make the
managed.
He made the apex. How did he do that?
Oh, he's a Portuguese driver. You know what I mean.
I thought it was
That's how
supposed
the Portuguese do it.
I thought it was supposed to be the Scandi flick, not the Portuguese flick.
That's the Portuguese way.
He pulled a gap on Fodder on that one. Fodder didn't know where to put the car.
Probably. But while these two are fighting, guess who is joining the party?
That'll be Mercedes.
There he is. And guess who is smiling with a big smile while these three rejoin?
Oh, that'll be our Dark Lord.
He is on the clouds right now. He's like exactly how he loves to be on a race. Leading and 5 miles distance.
One thing that we didn't really notice in there in that flurry of pit stops is Fodder. It's Mercedes, I saw that. Nearly collected the barrier.
Yeah. We saw it,
But-
Mercedes.
yeah.
We saw it.
But Fodder, he has snuck the fastest lap somewhere in there. And it is 3 points for the fastest lap, which is that's going to be very useful for the championship.
Hmm.
Which will,
This is strategy.
I agree. We're at that point now Well, they're going to
Do
settle
you
down
think?
a little bit for a lap or two, and they're going to make another massive push to get past each other. This is the race to watch, Ziggy, for second place.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Mercedes Citily. I'm impressed with Citily. He still haven't pitted.
Yeah, how's he gone 2/3 into the race on one tank of fuel? Does that Lexus have a secondary fuel tank we don't know about?
It's an electric. It's not on petrol. It's electric.
Well,
Sarah
we haven't gone
doing-
hybrid just yet, but I get your point.
Sarah is doing quite well. Steady on 6th position. Sophie is the same. She's close to Sarah. So maybe a potential fight for 6th position or 5th position by the end. Eck now racing alone. He's driving alone.
There we go. We do have Citily, who is coming into the pits, finally at 2/3 distance into this race. Also choosing not change tyres. That is a bit of a 2/3 split to changing at the moment. Interesting. So I think we might also see in the coming laps another battle, part 2, with Mac and Koulios. That is possible. Koulios dragging Kirk along with him as well. Iceman in a little bit of no man's land today, but he's going to be happy racing in mid lobby. We always love having him here. Charlie's fallen back to 12th with another. He's pitted again somewhere. He's on fresh tyres. Picked up a 3-second penalty crossing that white line. So I think he's had an off somewhere and decided he wants to have a bit of a glory run, go for the fastest lap, which you can't do, 7 those penalties.
And he was having such a good race on the first half of the race.
Yeah, and he's licked
It's a
out.
shame for Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah, and there goes Gary getting through past him. Also on fresh wet tyres. I may have said soft tyres a minute ago out of habit. But yeah, we may have a retirement from Phil. Maybe some technical difficulties, but he's got some big damage front and back. So we'll see if he rejoins later on or not. But we did spot
Nigel, Nigel's still running, carrying that front damage, front, left and right, plus the aero.
He's probably got used to it at this point, hasn't he?
Yeah, maybe he's performing better like this.
Well, it's a weird thing. You can pick up some damage, and if you can run with it, survive it, and adapt to it, you can sometimes find it almost evens out a bit of instability with understeer or oversteer. So maybe it's just working out for him. But
Yeah, this reminds me of a F1 race at Brazil with I think it was Felipe Massa. I think it was when he was at the Ferrari, and he was pulling some, he was on the racecraft. He was doing okay, and he clipped the car in front of him with the front wing, and part of that front wing got loose, and it went off. And his main concern was right away to reach the engineer to check if everything was okay, if the car was okay. And the race engineer told him, yeah, it's fine. We're doing faster now. maybe we found the solution to the problems of the car.
I remember that.
It was
I remember that. Yeah,
that was funny.
I remember that. And yeah, it's one of those things. It must have not mattered too much in the grand scheme of things. And I think we saw it from Leclerc last season in 2025 as well, when he was racing Hamilton. He had some front wing damage and went a lot faster. So
Exactly.
what do engineers know, eh?
Yeah.
I'm guessing Pedro's engineer is now worried about the state of his floor after destroying it on those curves, but do you know what, Ziggy? I'm still outstanded by how the pit stops have completely turned this race on its head. Mercedes dropped from first to fourth, Pedro from fourth to second, Fodder stayed where he was, actually, to be fair, and Dark Lord from second to first. So it's turned on its head. It really has.
Indeed. And very happy to see Sarah so close to the end. on that 5th position, and Sophie as well. Our ladies performing so well on such a difficult and tough race like this one, showing and proving all the talent, all the skills, all what they have to be, fighting with the big boys on the red lobby, which we all know that that's where the fastest guys, the best drivers are. And I'm really, really happy for them, no matter what position they in the
Whoops.
race. But Kirk
Kirk,
doing Ziggy stuff. That's my stuff, Kirk. Don't do that.
Kirk doing Kirky Ziggy things. That was unfortunate to catch him at that moment. But, yeah, the ladies are going to be very happy with themselves running in their 5th and 6th. But one driver that I really want to shout out at the moment is Sitterly in that Lexus ahead of Mac. And we had spotted earlier on Mac not looking too comfortable in these conditions, but Sitterly looks like he is enjoying it, loving it in fact, running high in 7th. As he unfortunately runs a bit wide. Gathers it back up, that will give Mac a chance.
You were talking about Mark being a little bit uncomfortable on this race, and if we look at his times per lap, we can actually see that they are not too consistent. A few laps on the 46, 48s, 47, and lots of them on the 45s, while the guys ahead are running on the 44s. A few of them on the 43s as well. So, yeah, he's really not feeling it today.
Kirk back in the pits. And, yeah, I agree with that, Ziggy. The times don't lie. The stopwatch doesn't lie. As somebody famously said, I can't remember who, but it's definitely been said at some point. Probably by a stopwatch maker. But I think we have, in fact, seen a retirement. We have indeed lost Kirk. So he has retired from the race. Phil is back out there and trying intermediate tyres, and well, consequently he's had an off and picked up some damage. So that's not worked sadly for him. But shame to lose Kirk. But sometimes when it's not going your way, it's not going your way.
It's not, yeah. And Dark Lord has a track penalty of the second, while Pedro is getting closer dangerously for Dark Lord. He really managed to pull a little bit of a gap to the guys behind, and he's closing on Dark Lord.
Well, we did say earlier on Pedro was a bit of a wet weather specialist. He was debating whether going for this Irex Vision or not, because he was worried about its drivability in the wet weather. So he's overcome that now. And
he's quite used to the car now.
Yeah. And he's trusting in his strategic choices in this season, which is great to see. It's one that, not criticism we had from him in season 5, but it was perhaps some of the actions were a little bit too conservative. Could have pushed the strategy a little bit harder and maybe gained himself a place here or there. But sometimes you want to play conservative, but this one, not changing those tyres, seems to be the right decision, because it's jumped him ahead of Fodder, who can't seem to get on the back of him. Great racing.
Absolutely. Very proud of my fellow countrymen. And also Mercedes now picked up half a second penalty. But yeah, I mean, Pedro has always shown from early stages that he is a very, I'm repeating myself but he is a very talented and a very, he's very fast on picking up, all the small tricks and stuff for improving himself as a driver, and to find time on every single lap. And now I think it's the moment for Pedro to with races like this to show that he also has that strategic side, improving in terms of longer races, which was something that sometimes it didn't quite work out for him.
I agree with you on that, and I think it's only a matter of time before he picks up his second red feature win at some point. It will happen. It will happen. He's just got to have a little bit of luck and believe in the strategy. With so the car control he's had in this race, and you see, catching Dark Lord is it's not easy. Let's face it, and to just know you're catching Louis, he's doing well. But I tell you what, these 4 drivers all in the same shot after 32 laps around these wet conditions in 4 very different cars with 4 very different strategies. It's great to see.
It's really great to see, and it's a lesson. I mean, I've learned a lot watching these guys just on this race under these conditions. So you have 4 different perspectives in terms of race, in terms of what to do and how to react to conditions, which is great to see. At this point, midnight, I have to ask you, with 4 laps to go, 5 laps to go, who is your driver of the day?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that, because I don't have an answer at the moment. I genuinely don't.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult, right? This is going to be a hard one, this one.
I'll have to pull that out somewhere once we get to the end, I'm afraid. So, sorry to throw that one back at you, because I can't answer that one at the moment, because we've still got a few laps to go. I was waiting for that.
You was.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, that's gonna be. That's a bit of an ouchie moment. Pedro
Pedro.
He had a little bit. He dropped a second somewhere on that lap, and he's going to get another half-second penalty. And Fodder is right there with him. That is the last thing he would have wanted. He's going to be trying as hard as he can. You can see it in the car driving lane, which he's pushing. He's back at half a percent or two. Get to the end of the lap and try and get into turn 1 still ahead of Fodder, because you know he's going to be hard to get back past. As Mercedes he's now just rally crossing.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are pushing so hard, Mercedes and Pedro. Pedro was pushing because he could see Dark Lord in front of him. And once you can see the guy you are chasing in front of you, you know, you have that boost of adrenaline. That's why you pushed a little bit too far on the previous lap, getting this track penalty that probably will get him in trouble with Fodder. Let's see how it goes.
Possible. So here we go. Pedro has spent his penalty. Fodder will have the overspeed into turn 1. Pedro's covering the inside. Just brings the pace of both cars down, slows both of the pair of them down to make sure he comes out ahead with the driving line. But he's going to have to go defensive into the quadruple left-hander. Will Fodder go for it into that corner? This is going to be ambitious.
It's risky.
It's very risky. Chooses life. Oh, careful, Pedro. 2.5 laps to go. Careful. Because Fodder knows that too. All he's got to do is keep the pressure on. You can see it from the language of the car. It gets squirrely. That's going to open up the inside corner for Fodder. But it's left, followed by right, followed by left. And again, Pedro just holding the inside. Good driving from the pair of them. But
Good driving.
You can see Pedro's looking in his mirrors more than he's looking forwards.
And while all this was happening with Pedro and Fodder, I'm watching the same thing between Sarah and Sophie. They're fighting for that 5th position.
And there's also a battle going on a little bit further apart, but between Mac and Sitterly. Mac getting in front of Sitterly a few laps ago. And like you say, between Sarah and Sophie as well. Both the drivers also not changing tyres, but still making their way around. Where do we look?
There's so much going on right now over this. I will keep an eye on Sarah and Sophie and see how the ladies go.
Well, looking up front in Pedro and P2, obviously that charge for P1 is now somewhat stalled as now Dark Lord is getting away a little bit after Pedro's couple of laps in a little bit of a wilderness. And we do see Sarah getting a bit squiggly.
That was close.
Out of the final chicane. Sophie on the back. Ziggy, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, she has the moment, she has the drive. Sophie's, she's going to take this one on the braking, unless Sarah can do the switcheroo, forcing Sophie going in a little bit too deep. There's a chance. Sophie closed the door.
Nigel there
well
too.
Well done. Yeah. Nigel might have had a part on this, but good driving from both of them.
He's going to have to get out of the way as well. Blue flag's being waved for Nigel. There might be an opportunity for Sarah to get that past. It's going to be a matter of timing. Nigel getting out of the way as soon as he can. That's a good move there, but that will give Sarah an opportunity. Oh, that is close racing.
That was close.
Bumper to bumper. Out front. Dark Lord about to start his final lap, showing us he can race in the wet and race well. Pedro looks like he has made a little bit of a gap to fodder, only about a second or so. Mercedes not get back on terms with the other guys. He might only be a bit disappointed in this one actually, but this fight for fifth is where it's at. You can just hear the cars locking up into the chicanes. Trying to put the power down, get that Mclaren turned, rotated and accelerated out of the corner. It looks almost painful. See,
if Sarah manages if Sarah manages to keep the pressure on Sophie, she might still have a chance on this last lap. But it's brilliant race. It's a shame for Sarah to lose that fifth position and with 2 laps to go. But yeah, still a brilliant race from the pair of them.
Quite agree. Final lap. Fodder has closed in on Pedro. It's going to be the last chance. And it's going to have to be a very late move onto the brakes, either at the chicane at the bottom of the course or the hairpin at the bottom of the course or the chicane at the top. Not this time. He's running out of opportunities. Pedro's going to have to get that car rotated. One thing we do know is that Oxygen is very slippery in a straight line. He didn't get great traction there, so he's going to be a little bit vulnerable to fodder. Not close enough.
Not close enough, yeah.
Going to have to just get through the final couple of corners. Fodder not really easing up on him, let's be honest.
Ooh,
Mercedes off in the background. Oh, Fodder is side by side with Pedro. Oh,
on the outside.
That was a gap.
That was it. Yeah, it was there, but it was ambition on the outside. It was ambitious from. There we have our winner.
Dark Lord taking the win. Pedro will take P2. Fodder will take P3. No doubt he might want a little bit of investigation into that last lap incident. Mercedes rally crossing for the final couple of laps. I think that was Gary finishing in there as well. Sophie holding on to P5 and Sarah P6. Well, that was a bit of a thrilling last lap or so ahead of Ziggy.
Very thrilling, very exciting. These two battles for P2 and P5 give a different color to this last 10 minutes. Quite exciting to watch. Great to watch as well, the behavior of the drivers and the way they handle all the fights and for position with clean racing, very respectful, and whatever happened or might have happened, the stewards are there to watch and to analyze. So really happy with this race, to watch this race. I'm really happy with the way all the drivers put their effort on track. So in the end, despite the final position where each one have ended, congrats to all for doing this such a difficult and tough race.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Ziggy, just to give a rundown of those results. Well, obviously Dartmoor taking the win in P1, Pedro P2, Fodder P3, 4th goes to Mercedes, 5th Sophie, 6th Sarah Hawkey, 7th Mac, 8th Sisley, 9th Koulios, 10th Charlie, 11th Iceman, 12th Gary, 13th Nigel Mansdale, 14th Phil, and 15th Kirk with a did not finish, but he does get points because he completed most of the race. But no post-race penalties for any driver, so that is good to see. And I think we'll address the point straight away. That last lap finale with Pedro and Fodder. Personal view, I would say that was a very ambitious gap on the outside, and you can see both drivers scraping for any bit of traction they had. Just a little bit of a racing incident, but so close between the two. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was I would say a bold attempt from Fodder to take second place from Pedro. Pedro just hold with all that he had and he could defending that position. But still, I think it was with the the minimum respect they had to have between them as racing drivers, fighting for a position on the last corner. I think it was really, really exciting to watch, and we had adrenaline till the end with these last 2 laps of the race, with Pedro and Fodder performing an exquisite race from the start to the end, especially on this last bit of the race.
Sounds about fair. My man. But that was a hell of a race. It was a little bit of a slow burn in parts of that, but the strategy really played through about just over halfway to 2/3, where all of the lead drivers came in within a couple of laps of each other. And the big winner in that was obviously Dark Lord himself taking the win, and Pedro. It's great to see Pedro getting a strategic victory in that one, so really good to see. But for me, this...
And said... Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm going to let you go because I've got a question to ask after this. Go for it.
Yeah, it was surprising to watch Dark Lord finishing on the top. I wouldn't bet, especially under these conditions, I would bet the win for him. Although I would put him right there under a condition to be able to fight for it, but I wouldn't bet for a clean win. Pedro surprised me for the strategic decision he took to stay out for 3 more laps, taking advantage of all the clean air he had in front of him to try to do the moves on Fodder and Mercedes that ended up really, really well. Fodder did his natural race in terms of race pace and consistency. He may be a little bit frustrated because I'm sure that he's sure that he had more to give, and probably he had the pace to be fighting for the win till the end. But it's what it is. And Mercedes, I feel for him because he did an impeccable race till the first half of the race. Impeccable. No one managed to get near him except for Dark Lord on that lap before he pitted, and he ended up in 4th. Maybe he pitted a little bit earlier or not. It depends. The car, the Mercedes, we all know that likes to drink a little bit more than a few others, so he was cautious. I think Mercedes was cautious.
I think you're probably right on that. I think that definitely cost him a podium because you could then see him scrabbling around trying to extract speed out of the car to get back on terms with the more efficient Supra and the RX Vision. So unfortunate for him, but like you say with Dark Lord, he hasn't got many holes in his in his game. But it's great. He's definitely patched what we thought he had, and seeing him taking a, frankly, faultless victory here in the wet, it's quite scary actually. But
Yeah,
that is going to
it
bring
is.
us back to that question.
Oh man,
Driver of the day.
now you gotta throw it to me, right?
Do you know what? You ask first, I will answer it first.
Okay.
It's going to sound like a little bit of a cop-out, but for good reason on this one. Dark Lord, I think for that victory and the podium in the sprint that he had, so the victory in the feature race, I think he definitely deserves it. But I would like to pair it with Mercedes, who had a P2 in the sprint. And if it wasn't just for a little bit of fuel management or a short pit stop, he was in a shout for a very least a second podium in 2 races at the same event. So problem is, I also want to give a massive shout out to Pedro for his strategic thinking in this feature race. He sadly just had a little bit of a weaker sprint race, but a very entertaining sprint race. And Fodder would be in a very similar position, as they both finished side by side in the sprint as well. So those two deserve a shout out, but for me it's between Dark Lord and Mercedes. How do you feel?
I have to agree with you on that one. I mean, Dark Lord, he shut me up. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't put my bets on Dark Lord to win, and he won it. So, driver of the day for sure. The feature and the podium on the sprint race. Flawless race, like you said. Incredible pace. Strategic wise, everything was perfect from Dark Lord. Mercedes, I have to follow you on that one. It doesn't shock me at all to pair it with Mercedes, because he did prove, and he did show again one more time how good he is in terms of race pace and raw pace, and in terms of the way of controlling the race, controlling the gap for who's behind him, and eventually for if someone is ahead of him, he knows exactly what to do. It was a pity that he had to pit so early. Maybe he was a little bit cautious in terms of fuel consumption. He was probably thinking that his car is a little bit more heavy and has a more, higher fuel consumption rate. He was cautious. That cost him dearly. But anywho, I think he really deserves to be there on the driver of the day as well.
I'm glad we agree. On that. But I think that's
one of the few. That's one of the few times we agree, Midland.
One thing we didn't actually mention in this one is the really. You are actually right on that. I should probably address that first. But one thing we should probably mention is also the race from the ladies in this one, 5th and 6th in the red lobby. It was absolutely great to see. We know Sarah's a little bit of a wet weather specialist and doing damn well and proving exactly so. It was a great race to see herself and Sophie have a good battle in that one. But I do feel Sophie perhaps struggling with the McLaren in these conditions. We know how quick she is, and I believe winning or podium at the Suzuka race, which we did a few seasons ago in the wet. Maybe the McLaren biting her on this one, or just not being quite in the zone that she needed to be for this race. But still, 5th place is nothing to be worried about. She did damn well to achieve that, so well done for those two as well. And quiet achievement for the race as well. Sicily coming home just behind Mac with the one of the latest pit stops in the whole thing. It's great to see from so many drivers in there, and I do also want to take the chance to address Kudos having a very solid race after a small incident with Mac. Charlie not getting the best out of himself, but at least giving us a really good sort of thrilling race during the middle of it and the sprint race. So great to see from so many drivers out there, and it was really good to see such clean racing from every driver out there today.
Exactly, especially on such hard conditions, like we all know that wet races can be. I can't remember many accidents through the race, 2 or 3. Some bangings on walls, but also like 2 or 3. So I think everyone did exceptional well, showing the talent and everything these drivers can deliver on a race. Well done to everyone.
Quite right. And I'd say, Ziggy, that's probably the end of it for us tonight. I think it's time to look forward to the next race, which will be at Sardinia Sea. A little short track, but it's going to be full of very high tempo action. And
it will be fun!
Crucially, it's going to be dry for all of the drivers, and they're going to be looking forward to that. I think they've had enough
It will
of
be
weather.
fun! Stay tuned, because it will be fun.
It will be
fun.
So,
it's a fun short track.
Ziggy, thank you very much for being the common sponsor for me on this one. Thank you for everyone for watching. Please leave us a like, comment and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok as well for loads of little updates and bits and pieces. Check out our guides as well. But other than that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Ziggy, thank you for being here. And I think we should...
Thank you, my man.
Anytime. I think we should go and disappear and get ready for the next race.
Let's go!
Thank you, everyone. See you on the next one.
Bye-bye.